Hey everybody, it's Arthur and welcome back to Shining Songs Starnova. Right then last we left off. Senna's charging towards a crowd of onlookers in front of the stage the Storm is performing on with a saw. Yeah. Also, I'd like to address and apologize for the weird static popping in the background recently. I don't know when, why, I don't know why that started. I've tried fiddling with the well, first the wires, the audio setting, anything, you know, to see if if there was something interfering with it. And whenever I do a test recording, half the time it would sound fine. And the last time I did one just a second ago, it sounded fine again. So if it's happening, I don't know. I don't know if this is a sign that I need to look into getting a better mic, or if it's just some mundane thing that I haven't discovered yet. So, anyway. Right, let's keep going. Okay, yeah, fitting. Oh, Jesus! Oh, no. Oh, no. Well, we've got a standoff on our hands. Harna stepped in front of Senna's path. So Harna chose to appear before her. It looked like taking care of the imposter would have to wait a bit. She still had unfinished business with Harna. Unfortunately, I don't think the wake up tactic is going to work here. That's just my opinion, though. Senna tilted her head as if Harna had just told her pigs had wings. Ah. Oh no. Harna ducked and fell to the ground just as a saw blade cut through the air above her. She sounds way too fucking calm, and that's just making this worse. Harna felt the sharp edge of the saw's teeth against her neck. Yeah, okay, see this? Yeah, that like it. Yeah. Yeah, Harna, that's not gonna help. I'm just okay. That's not really how this works. Yeah. Well, I get the feeling she's gonna remember, only to remember Harna taking them away from her, and they're just making this worse. Senna's eyes rolled upwards into her brain as if racking her recollection for realization that was at the tip of her tongue. Okay. Shame. It's just dragging this out. I'm just awaiting what is probably inevitable at this point. I'm hoping it's not. Hoping I'm wrong. That's just gonna be worse. The contradictions in Senna's memory began to appear like cracks on her face. Uh-huh. Okay, what does that mean? Suddenly her face broke into horror. Uh-oh. You really better hope you're rolling high numbers here. Oh, God. Haruna used the opening to lunge at Senna. She pinned her down on the ground and wrestled her for the saw blade. I heard static on the staff comm line. Trouble spotted, out of perimeter. Trouble? What could it be? I ran from backstage and toward the outer perimeter of the outdoor stage. The two women grappled on the ground, caught in the middle of a fierce life or death struggle. Senna gasped and tried to regain control of her saw blade as Haruna held her pinned down. Okay. Okay. At that moment, superhuman strength coursed through Haruna's body. A brute beastly force, stronger than even the strength of 100 men. A power that only a woman could summon. The strength of a desperate lioness protecting her cub. Haruna tore the saw blade from Senna's hand to the force of tearing a phone book in half and tossed it away into the darkness. Okay then. Oh, I think I might have. Hired security rushed the scene from every direction. They snapped handcuffs around Senna's wrists and raised her up. However, she showed no signs of resistance. In fact, her lips were trembling as if she was suddenly on the verge of tears. In that final moment, when Haruna tore the saw blade from her hand, a sudden epiphany struck her. She saw in Haruna's eyes the fierce willingness to do anything to protect her daughter, a fire which haunted her. Yes, deep in Senna's heart there was a black pit of eternal shame and regret, for she had tried to murder her own daughter all those years ago. Tears ran down her eyes. Oh no. I finally arrived at the scene only to see the situation had been fully contained. I nearly had a heart attack there. Haruna-san, thank you so much. If we hit a crisis at this hour... So wait. You said Starnova's darkest crisis was... That would involve the whole group, and this was sort of on the outskirts. I'm confused. In any matter, I got the feeling that I was interrupting something important and quickly backed away. Mm. Okay. But before Senna could speak, she heard her daughter's voice in the stage's speakers. Listen, the song's already over, which means the other girls backed away as Nimba took to the stage. Oh. Okay. She faced the crowd that had come to see her today. They had merely been scared and nervous supporters. All it had taken was a single song before they once again fell in love with the idol they first saw a year ago. This is all heartfelt and everything, but when my brain went was I thought this blue stretch of light here was like a blue ribbon or something. I don't. Ignore me. Brave. Very, sorry. Very, very brave. Blunt. The crowd began to murmur. Shut up. However, Kyosuke put a firm hand on Junpei's shoulder. Yeah. Oh. Oop. All right. Oh no. Oh god. Oh, this. Please don't. Oh no. This is. I just had this horrible feeling that Senna's not gonna like this. Oops. I thought there was a pause and I thought, ugh. Sparkly teardrops. Uh-huh. Remember to like and subscribe. Sniff. The crowd erupted in enraptured applause. Junpei wiped the tears from his glasses as Kyosuke balled into the sleeve of his coat. Okay. Okay, well, they seem to have taken it well. The chanting of the audience filled the park. However, the old grizzled executive did not cry. She merely closed her eyes. However, not even she cannot keep her lips straight upon hearing Nema's speech. She was smiling. Back to business. However, as Senna was escorted from the park by 2 men, she looked back. By now, the girl's second song had already begun, and the audience was busy chanting along with the beats. This was the shining stage she had dreamed her whole life of standing upon. Yet, at this moment, she was not saddened. In some part of her remaining mind, she knew. Her daughter had accomplished what she could not. With that, she entered the security van and was taken off the premises. I let out a long sigh of relief. Except for that unexpected incident, the audience had reacted positively to both the performance and Nemo's speech. We had won. Surely, no matter what was written in the papers tomorrow, everyone had heard Nemo's heartfelt words. It would only be a matter of time until news of her comeback spread on social media, and by then the tide of this war would be turned into our favor. Haruna interrupted my thoughts. Yeah? Yeah, sure. Haruna was entirely correct. Every day, dozens, maybe even hundreds of girls in this industry cried. They cried when they received nasty words on social media from haters. They cried when the media slandered their names in the press. They cried when their producers pressured them to bring money to the company despite everything. It was only a matter of time till they eventually lost their minds. I knew precisely what Haruna was asking of me. I had to defy my very obligations to my company. I had to defy even my duty to Starnova. And place Nemo above everything I used to hold dear. I gulped. In fact, I could be fired for doing this. But in the end, I had already made up my mind. I bowed before Haruna. Understood, Haruna-san. I give you my word. Thank you for allowing me to take care of Nemo-chan. Stand up, boy. The woman, reputed to be a cold and ruthless businesswoman, laughed as his humble producer promised to defy his own company for the sake of her daughter. Clearly there was plenty of irony to be had here. However, I was still bound by my words to her just the same. I was going to make Nemo happy from now on. I wasn't going to be just her producer anymore. Aw. Oh, sorry. Mom came to see your daughter's school play. That's what went through my head. I don't know. That's just God, I hate myself. Of course, come this way. Best seat in the house. Over here, Miss Extremely Rich Lady. Ellipses. And so the two of us returned to the stage and watched the remainder of the live. We were surrounded by Starnova's most passionate fans who would come out here to support the girls. However, the woman sitting beside me looked only at Nemo as she danced the night away. Her beloved, beautiful daughter who she would give her all to protect. All this time, she had been protecting her from the shadows. I couldn't let Haruna bear that burden alone. From now, I was going to be the one protecting Nemo. My duty to Starnova or Shining Productions be damned. Yes, my days with Nemo were only beginning. Oh. Oh yes, fond memories of the abduction. Well, I was honestly expecting worse when it said that, like, the darkest time of Starnova was upon us. Not that that wasn't, you know, that wasn't just, I can't even find the right words. But, like, I thought it just meant, you know, further public slander and drama and tragedy. Okay. Well, uh, I guess now we just see if there's anything after the credits, which, you know, sometimes there is. Not gonna lie, the guitar bit there is pretty sick.